So my role has now become the head of this new division called Connect Ed. We all know what's going on in the Jewish world. We also know what's going on outside of the Jewish world. We know about the issues taking place in independent schools, in public schools, the tension surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict with students, with staff, with parents, with communities, all the different stakeholders. And we actually launched a new division called Connect Ed, where we created all new content, new videos, new curriculum, new professional development, and we're working specifically with the independent school world, and as well as public schools as well. So I saw many of you just scan the QR code there, but this is a brand new library where we're focusing on how to have dialogue across difference and media literacy, which is of course the skills needed to delve into these topics. And then we created new content about the Israeli-Palestinian story, anti-Semitism in the Holocaust, Jewish history, and you can see here there is also this beautiful library that we're building up. So again, everyone in this room, I assume, are Jewish educators, Israel educators in Jewish educational context. If you are not, this is relevant, but also we're all in touch with people who are involved in these schools as well, so we encourage you to share Connect Ed as well. With that, thank you so much. I'll be here a little bit after, and my colleague Beth, who will be here all weekend over there with the phone, you can speak to her as well, because I'm leaving in an hour on a plane, but definitely reach out. There's my email, reach out anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for bearing with us with all of the changes. I just want to, I know that you mentioned we're talking about Israel education, Hebrew education. We're actually, all of this track is talking about teaching the whole child, and we're talking about the ecosystem of teaching. So tomorrow afternoon, for example, we're going to have a session about teaching from the heart. We spoke about community. We're speaking about many things, so not just Israel and Hebrew, and definitely not separated. I'm going to invite Rabbi Ergas for very short, so we can also allow Zohar. We're going to talk also about Educator, investment in Educator through Israel experience, and also Gila is sitting with us in the back. Gila, raise your hand. Momentum is also starting to take educators to Israel, so we can talk to her later. So we start speaking about Hebrew, and there's something stuck in the background, and Avishag. So while he was opening it and talking about Hebrew, how to teach Hebrew, and how you can use Ivrit B'Merkaz, we just saw that there are many materials available for us. We're going to see what's available with Hebrew. We saw about Israel and other things. But also, maybe Zohar, I'll jump to you a little bit. There is one thing about doing things online, but there is also something important about doing in person. And I know that many of us know JNF as the little blue box that you have on the table that you are welcome to take later on, and planting trees in Israel, and Tu B'Shvat is coming, so lots of excitement about that. But JNF is doing more than that. Maybe you can talk about the two programs, one for educator, one for teens, that JNF is doing.
Thank you so much. First, it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you, Avishag and Rachel and IAC, and all to my colleague. We are all agree about Jewish education. When we are talking about Jewish education, I think the main goal of all of us is to empower and to strengthen the connection and the Jewish identity, Zionist identity, and Israeli identity to Israel, to Am Israel and to Eretz Israel. Anyone disagree about it? Don't think. Not in this room, better. Anyhow, I think what is the main purpose of JNF, Jewish National Fund USA, is a part of the big family Keren Kayemet L'Israel, but we are here focused on America and the American connection to Israel, lovely Jewish community here. And the main point is to connect to Israel, and to bring every program to connect to Israel like in practice. I would like to say it in Hebrew, a phrase that came to me this morning. I sat with my colleague, Zev, is the teen director at JNF, my colleague, and also Gadi here. Gadi is a board member at JNF-USA, and also is an Entebbe hero from elite Sayeret Matkal, that liberate in 1976. Think about it. I wrote the morning אם לא נעשה את זה נכון, הכל יישאר בגדר רעיון. Like you want it in English? It's like to say in English באמא שלך, like in your mother. So by the laugh, I know who know the Hebrew very well. If we are not going to make it good, everything will be like an idea. So take Tu B'Shvat, for example. Tu B'Shvat is coming. Tu B'Shvat is not only to plant trees in Israel. Of course, to plant trees in Israel, because if we can bring everyone to Israel to plant trees, sababa. But we can't. So we make it for you, because JNF is your voice in Israel. Double meaning your voice, okay, to do the things, but is to touch the roots and to speak and to teach Tu B'Shvat by the lovely context that we have all, okay, JNF and you and the other colleagues that you have, to connect what Abraham, our father, did when he came almost 4,000 years to where? To the capital of the Negev, the first holy city in Israel, Beersheba, right? And he planted an eshel tree. Why he planted the tree? Because he wanted to say to everyone, it's belong to me, it's misheli, I'm a part of. He was the first new immigrant, the first nefesh benefesh, ole chadash. Okay? So when he arrived to Israel, this is what he did, and we prepared for you a presentation because we are afraid from the communication problems, and you have here every program with a QR. To give you another example, Plant Your Way. We want everyone to come to Israel, to fulfill the dream. From, it doesn't matter if they will come with the families, Bnei Mitzvah, after to Alexander Moss High School in Israel. This is an opportunity to study in Israel, to feel Israel, and to fulfill the dream, and to return back like with a full toolbox about Israel, and to feel and to live and to explore, and of course also to learn Hebrew. But the main point is Israel studies, and if it's a long-term mini semester or semester, it will be following by general studies, so they are not going to miss something. And to be able to do that, we support with Plant Your Way, a program that also you have here with a QR code that you can scan. From the age of 0 to 30, everyone can open an account. Like if you grew up in Israel, it's Dan Chaschan, okay? Like 50% goes to any program in Israel, not only Alexander Moss. But if you are going to Alexander Moss, you can receive 7,500 scholarship by Dream Israel. Also, you can find here. And a lot of programs, they are around Israel to bring them to Israel. Because, as I said at the beginning, אם לא נעשה את זה נכון, הכל יישאר בגדר רעיון. So, just to close it and to say, we have a seminar every year, education mission to Israel. A few of you here were at the seminar, and I see that you survived. Yes, raise your hand, please.
You went on the JNF seminar?
Okay, wow.
Excellent, wow.
Wow, wow.
Wonderful.
So I have a few alumni here, survivor, but I think you brought the opportunities to your community, to your family, to your students, and this is what we focus in, especially this year, supplementary school and religious school, a special opportunity for a senior educator to come to Israel for 8 days. It's only 500 and airfare, all the rest is on us, because we are going to explore Israel together from different perspectives, how we can bring back, how we can teach, how we find Israel today, more than ever, especially what's happened. But more than what's happened is we are Jews, we are Zionist people, not because of October 7th, although it's October 7th. And we take all the 4,000 years and to make this relevant for today. If it's innovation, or if it's renovation, or if it's about the communities and project. Just to end with, to give you one example in the north. In the north, we are building the culinary center. The culinary center is the idea of kibbutz galuyot. Everyone came from different country with the food. Hungarian and Polish, Moroccan, wow, delicious. And all those tfutzot, everyone brought his food. So we are building the culinary center. It's international school for chef in the north, because the engine a growth in the north to bring more and more residents back to Kiryat Shmona and all the north that we are dealing today as a community buildings, how we build. So collaborate with the university, the new university in Tel Chai, and with Kiryat Shmona city and more. We are building the culinary center as a international chef school that bring the food, learn how to do it. Of course, we'll taste it in the field with a boutique restaurant, hotel, and more than return back to their countries all over the world with this idea. So when you teach about Israel, about the idea, about what will happen at the next decade, and all the efforts, you can make it. So I invite you to take this presentation on your tables, okay, and use them and see how your teaching mission activity will bring them to Israel, Bar Mitzvah, Alexander Moss, students program, etc., etc. And thank you so much again. We are working in collaboration with all the organization and all of you, and you are more than welcome to ask Zev and me after anything, and we have also a booth. Toda.
Thank you very much, Zohar. And I highly recommend, even if you went on one trip to Israel organized for educators or anyone, try to find a different one and go again. I was very fortunate for 10 years to run a Boston-Haifa connection and took many groups to Israel. Even as Israeli, I learned through their eyes and about new things that are building in Israel. One of the fascinating things in Israel, despite the war, you go there and the constant growth. There's always growth, you know, new rail, new transportation, new building, new museum, new culinary schools. So thank you. We're going to do another jump to the Hebrew language. We are challenged by technology, but we'll see this time. And we are going to add like 5 more minutes from the original time, taking a little bit of time from the Eye Center. I hope it's okay with you, Dan, to allow everybody here the opportunity to share their important work.
Okay, while I get ready, I'm going to ask both Arnie and Esti, they're going to hand at each table, they're going to hand somebody a deck. I'm going to ask the person who receives the deck to give 6 cards to everybody at your table. We do 3 things at Hebrew at the Center, 6 cards, each person at your table. We do 3 large things at Hebrew at the Center. We do a lot of work in the Jewish day school space. We've been doing it for almost 20 years. Esti is going to talk about that tomorrow. The third thing that we do is try to elevate Hebrew higher on the North American Jewish educational agenda. The second thing we do in the middle is what we're going to do today. We like to play. We like to work with schools, camps, congregations. And today we're going to look at only, because of our time, only 3 questions. Madua, Ech, and Matai. Why, how, and when. So Eliezer ben Yehuda will help us a little bit with the why. He says there are 2 things without which the Jews will not be a nation: their land and their language. And I want us to think about Hebrew. Sometimes we think about it merely as a language, and then we wonder about technology and say, oh, maybe we don't have to teach Hebrew. Google Translate will take care of it. But that mistakes an understanding what a language really is. It's actually like a land and a language. It's a bayit. It's a home. A language is where we find ourselves. So when we think a little bit broader, we say language is a powerful part of human connection. Hebrew is the language of the Jewish people, connecting us to our history, our traditions, our literature, our text, our song. Hebrew is our unique inheritance, the core of strong Jewish identity. By teaching our children Hebrew, we embrace them in the tapestry of Jewish and Israeli cultures and the entire Jewish world. I'm sorry, Google Translate is wonderful, but Google Translate cannot accomplish that. So the first thing we're talking about today is our lama, our madua. We're going to skip over the who. I want to teach you two words. The first is sociolinguistic community. When Zohar, a moment ago, talked about Imra Shelcha, and half the room laughed, you were demonstrating that language helps define what it means to be in a sociolinguistic community. When our students can hear the following sentence, today after Arachat Zoraim, we're going to meet in the Migrash, and we're going to do a pu'ula about Tikkun Olam. If they understand what that means, then they are part of a sociolinguistic community. So if before I said, let's move away from the binary, you either speak or you don't speak, we need to begin to think about how are we helping young people with 1 word, 5 words, 100 words, 5,000 words to be part of a sociolinguistic community. We do this in informal spaces and informal spaces through what we call Hebrew infusion. If on one end we have acquisition, it's an intellectual, a cognitive, an academic experience. We also know on the very end of this continuum is symbolic. I went to Israel for the first time when I was 16. I bought this Coca-Cola t-shirt. I thought I was very cool. You don't have to know what the letters are to know that you're wearing your Jewish pride when you wear this t-shirt. If I had a bunch of money, I would start putting on every university campus t-shirts with the names of the campus in Hebrew and ask the non-Jews to walk around wearing them. In that middle is infusion. How do we mix things? So the reason I ask you to pass these cards out is we're going to play a little game. Whoever passed the cards out, you're the judge, the shofet. Everybody has 6 cards. We're going to play milim letmuna, matching the words to the pictures. I'm going to show you a picture. You have only 20 seconds. 20 seconds to pick the word that you think goes with the picture and hand it to the shofet. The shofet has only 20 seconds to pick what was the best match. It's like apples to apples. Let's go. Match milim letmuna. What's the word that you have in your cards that you would pick? Now you have 15 seconds.
You should have given us a deck so we could play. We all want to play.
Okay, judges, 5 more seconds. Judges, look at your cards. Tell us the card at your table that wins. Kef. Okay, who's got a winner over here? Miri. B'teavon. Otodavar. B'teavon. Another b'teavon. All right. Whoever won. Now you're the person who gets to judge. Here's your second picture. Milim letmuna. Milim letmuna. We had a chavala zman over here. Okay, 20 seconds. Raise your hand when you have a winner for this picture. Okay, over here on our far table, what do you have? Gibur. Hero, Gibur. Acharai. What? Eze Yofi. We'll do 2 more. Whoever won, you're the judge now. Pick the word that goes to this picture.
Alamadis.
Okay, 10 more seconds. Okay, we have the word over here. We have karov. What? Eretz. Israel. Kibbutz. We'll do one last one. Chaim Sheli, yafeh mod. We'll do one last one. How about this picture? Milim Tmuna. Do we have a winner? A Chayal. We have Chayal. What else do we have? Mazal Tov. Chaval al Azman. Israel. We're going to stop. We could keep doing this, but let's unpack for 10 seconds. Do you have to be a fluent Hebrew speaker to play this game? No. Do you need to be a fluent Hebrew speaker to lead this game? We need to begin to think about how we're using Hebrew in strategic, revolutionary ways as a tool, and to think that Hebrew is a critical part, obviously, of Hebrew education, but also of Israel education and of Jewish education. In this short little activity, you demonstrated the connection Hebrew can make to Israel, to culture, to values, to a land, a language, and a people. The Matai, Akshav. Now is our moment. We need to recalibrate how we're thinking about Jewish education as we understand the implications of October 7th and October 8th. And we need to lean into those things that give our kids a sense of rootedness in who we are as a people. We're around. We're happy to answer lots of questions. The QR code will tell you how you can get this and 12 other different decks of cards. These are all cards that are around Israel. We've switched diamonds, hearts, spades, and clubs with nouns, verbs, expressions, and modifiers. We also have a 6-deck set for day schools where there's no transliteration. We know that in different settings, we're trying to accomplish different goals. We have stuff around Shabbat Chagim, modern Hebrew, etc. Oh, very interesting. You'll come up to me and I'll give you an updated one. HebrewAtTheCenter.org. Batzlacha, looking forward to spending more time with you over the weekend.
Thank you very much. And while we are getting ready for the last speaker on this panel, just a reminder, they are going to be around, so you can sit with them on their computer, ask questions, how to connect, and explore how to do it. We are going back to early childhood education because it's all start in early childhood education. Early childhood, woo! Yes, it starts, it's like, I call it from building block to building a nation. We're really starting at early childhood, and unfortunately in our country in general, not just in the Jewish world, we don't invest enough in early childhood education. We think they're just playing. But this is the most important time when lots of connections in the brains are happening, and this is also time to connect families. As I mentioned earlier, over 60% are interfaith families. How do we bring the parents that didn't grow up within their Jewish tradition to be part of the tribe and bring them to be part of this? And so you are not, if you're working in early childhood education, you don't just teach the child, you teach the family. And many teachers, when they come to the profession, they don't think that this is their role, and then they find out that this is actually their new role, is to be the educator for the families. Yes, we have a severe shortage. This will be a totally different conversation. How do we make it a pride for Jews to become educators? Because we lost it. The only group that right now is actually raising educators are the Chabad movement. You won't see reform or conservative telling their kids, go be an educator, Jewish educator. This is great. The pay is not great, and they don't see it as a mission. And we are losing because of that. So this is going to be maybe another round table in one of the federations and other things. We definitely need to invest in educators. So I want to give Margalit few minutes and then a quick break for coffee, and we're going to jump to Eye Center.
Okay, so, זה עובד המיקרופון? Okay. Hebrew or English, what do you prefer? English, okay. So for a second or two, I'd like to ask you to search your inner child and be for a moment a 3 to 6 years old child. Half a second. Yes? Half a second? Okay, stand up. Since we don't have audio and we can't hear music, you will be my music. All right? And we'll sing together something. So I need you to search your inner child and start clapping your hands and move around a bit. עברית לומדים יחד כולנו, עברית היא השפה שלנו, פודי פודי אנחנו כאן, פודי פודי זה הזמן, עברית מסביב לעולם, עברית מסביב לעולם, יש! אוקיי. אז...
I have to say, I'm so impressed with all of the speakers. Without the technology, we are doing great.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, by the way, a reminder, all of our sessions are Shomer Shabbat. So no technology at all. Yes.
Okay. So this is the site of Ivrit Misaviv La'olam, and you can learn about the program here on the site. What especially interesting is Novice 1 and Novice 2. And I will show it Novice 2. I will be here later on, so if somebody wants to know more about the program and how to use it, actually, I will be here for you. In every level, we have an overview for the teacher. So you can click, if you click here, you will go to Google Docs. It's open for everyone. You don't have to register or do something else. And you'll see here the whole Novice 2 program with explanation, what does it mean to be at Novice 2 level in early childhood, what are the expectations, what are the attributes of each level, what are the common goals of all the levels, of all the activities in the level, and then on each unit you will have a short description of what's going to be learned in the unit, what are the functional goals, what is the language knowledge that is required in order to perform the tasks and the goals that we want to achieve. And this is a quick link to the teacher's guide and printables and to the interactive unit. So this is one thing that it's important to know when you go into the site. Okay. And here you have all the units. This is the overview, and these are all the units. At this level, we are dealing with families. And through the families, children learn lots of stuff about families in Israel. So we have Ethiopian family, we have family that made Aliyah from Russia, we have family with only father, only mother, only grandfather, only grandmother, twins, etc., etc. We have mishpachot datiyot, religious and non-religious. And through the issue of the family, they learn different kinds of vocabulary or topics, as we say, that are relevant to young children. For example, with this family, they're doing a picnic. With this family, they're celebrating Yom Huledet, birthday, and just a moment. With this family, they experience Aruchat Boker, how to make Aruchat Boker breakfast, who likes what to eat during breakfast. this is playing together in the family, and you know that every family experiences that the whole living room is full of toys and how we collect them after we play. So this is what's going to be in this unit. In this unit, the mother is a vet, and the children learn about all the animals that they have at the backyard.
Margalit, maybe you can click into the unit so we can see what the unit look like inside.
Yeah, החיות שלנו, I want to show you a unit, let's say בקיץ חם הולכים לים, okay? Okay, בקיץ חם הולכים לים, Jigsy, Jewish interactive game. This is, okay. So we don't have the audio here, unfortunately, but we have here all the menu that the teacher can choose where to start, what's suitable for their children, and the level of the Hebrew, of course. This is by the end of מתחילים 2. So we'll have a short video that you cannot understand because we don't have the audio. This is the menu, and the child can choose where to start after the teacher is doing the first part of teaching the necessary vocabulary, and then we'll have everything goes here. This is a video. I'm not sure that it will not work, right? You don't have audio, okay. So
the video is working, but without the sound.
Without the sound.
But you get the idea, like it's a great website with so many resources.
It's an Israeli family that this is...
And one of the teachers, you say, it's me'uleh, I use it all the time. Wow.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the story here that they gather things in order to go to the seashore, and then we use shluk, which is an ice popsicle that every child knows in Israel, and you have the whole atmosphere of a family preparing to go to the seashore in Israel. Since we don't have the video, I want to show you we have the games here.
What?
עברית מסביב לעולם is on the Jigsy platform. And here you have all flashcards, and here you have interactive games, what to put in the basket according to the movie. So the short movie that starts the unit will be the basis for all the interactive games of מה צריך לים, of choosing, etc.
And I want to maybe, after we are done with the other session at around 10:45, Margalit can be with her computer at one of the table, and you are welcome to sit with her and ask, and maybe those educators that are already using it can also join you.
Just one sentence.
So you can do it, yes.
We have under each interactive unit, we have a teacher's guide and printables. So this is the printables, this is the teacher's guide that goes through the proficiency, to the proficiency-oriented and authentic materials that are extra to the video, and what to do before you use the program online, what to do before, after, while watching how to use actually screens with young children and not see them in front of the screen without any intervention. So I will be here, and it will be easier to see it on my computer, hopefully with an audio. So I'll be here. Also, there is the books of my Eretz Israel.
Do a shout out for that. Good.
There are the books of my Eretz Israel, which I wrote in order to, because I thought, how we explain to young children what is Eretz Israel? We don't want to deal with the conflict. It's not an history book, but it's a fable, actually. about different animals sharing the same spot, the same place of living, and each one of them sees the country in different eyes, but they learn to be together because they're all in the book. So you are invited. These books are not for free, unfortunately, but you can purchase them.
Thank you. And they're in Hebrew and in English, and you can purchase them later. There are also lots of other materials on the tables around, so take your time later on and examine them. There's also going to be a place where you can write a note for the Kotel, and we're going to send it to Israel. So I do want to thank all of the presenters of this morning. And I'm sure, make sure later on to be in touch with them, continue the conversation. There's so much richness. And now I want to invite our next speaker. If you need to stretch a little bit, take another coffee while he set his computer. And his suitcase didn't arrive, isn't it, with all the materials? No, but just talking about another challenge, like he sent the suitcase full with stuff, and it went to Seattle or somewhere else. So, but we are still learning and growing. Thank you very much.